Hi, I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Lita Leapins.
And welcome to another edition of Our City Tonight.
Well, we find ourselves at the Parker rooftop. Some of you might recognize this beautiful space, part of the Executive Table Group.
Yeah, Hydra and all the other restaurants. We were talking about, just before we go on camera, this is a specific episode where there's going to be a lot of wine.
Yes, there is. And you know, it's funny, when we don't have restaurants and a lot of wine, people actually comment.
We get
so
viewers going,
there
yeah,
you go.
yeah.
You asked for it, you got it.
And that's coming up next. Well, we're here at in Olympic Village at the BMO Theatre Centre, and it would not be a February for Our City Tonight without a little preview of the upcoming Vancouver International Wine Festival. It will be here March 7th to the 14th. I believe it is the 47th taking place.
You are correct, Jim, and as we do, for those that watch us regularly, thank you, we have the man himself, who is nicknamed the Wine DJ. We have the Executive Director, 25 years now, Harry Hercheg. Welcome to Our City Tonight. You are a regular here. You get the blazer, I think, now, that from the long time.
10 times I think you've been on, sir. You've been on every year.
Decade's worth.
Yeah, a decade's worth, yes.
Yes. But not as long as you've been executive director of this amazing festival. I'm going to ask you right off the bat, what is the spotlight on this year?
Well, first of all, welcome Lita and Jim to the BMO Theatre Centre.
Thank
you.
And
as we preview our upcoming 47th year
47th.
at the Vancouver International Wine Festival, I brought a couple of friends with me.
Oh, thank you.
Now, only 4 friends, because there are over 600 buddies in the tasting room, 600 wines from 113 wineries from 14 countries.
Holy, okay.
And that's going to be a lot of fun. So that's a lot of wines to taste, the smell, taste, wines that you could have on a weekend, on a special night, give as a gift, your new house wine. There's so many reasons to come to the wine festival.
But you are premiering a certain country this year that our audience definitely needs to know.
We're featuring France.
Oh, wow.
We're really good friends with France.
Yes.
We are.
Good to be good friends with friends, that's for sure.
There'll be 27 wineries from France, from all the storied regions: Bourgogne, Burgundy, Bordeaux, Alsace, Rhone, Languedoc, Roussillon, Champagne.
Nice. All
All the classic regions will be represented. All in all, there'll be 33 events, so there's opportunities to go to seminars and dinners and lunches and tastings. And one of the things I think is so great about the wine festival is that we have about a quarter to a third of the wineries are new to the festival each year. It's always new. And a third of the wines are new to the market or new listings.
Wow.
And yet there's an on-site liquor store where any of the wines you taste, you can purchase on-site and have them delivered to your local store. I mean, it's basically like Christmas for 3 days in the middle of March.
Brilliant.
And if you come from, let's say, Vancouver Island or the Okanagan or Sunshine Coast, and you stay at a downtown hotel, you get a free ticket.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
So no need to drive, wine and drive.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Hey, let's talk about what you got. It's always difficult
Your
to choose, but you brought 4 this time. What do we? Let's start with this one right here.
Like many parties and dinners, it's always good to start with sparkling wine. So this is a sparkling wine from Vancouver Island, Cowichan Valley specifically. The winery is called Unsworth, and this sparkling wine is called Charme de l'Île, the charm of the island. And it's sort of like a Prosecco-like sparkling. It's fresh and bubbly and bright. So when you're going to the tasting room, a good place to start is the sparkling wines to kind of brighten your palate, ready to go. And so I've also brought like a white wine, a rosé, and a red wine. So the white wine I'm featuring is from France, from a region in Bourgogne called Puy-Fuissé, which is a Chardonnay. And it is a very elegant wine. And this is going to be featured at the Bacchanalia dinner and auction, as well as in the tasting room.
Wow.
So this is a beautiful wine. Also, from our seminar, Passport to Global Wines. This is a great way to learn about the wines of the world.
Right.
This is from New Zealand, Taylor's Pass, and it's a Pinot Noir from Marlborough. And so this is a great opportunity to taste wines from around the world, from one of those 14 countries. And then our last wine here, also in the tasting room, is a local wine from the Okanagan Valley, from Joie Farm, and that's what you have in your glass.
Ooh.
And Rosé is a year-round beverage now. It's not just summertime. You can have it at lunch, dinner, and so I thought I'd pour you a little bit of that, the rosé.
Wow.
Because when we have wine, we have to toast.
Yes.
Definitely do.
And we have to smell.
Oh, that is delicious smelling.
Well,
We're going to do a cheers.
Bright strawberries.
there.
It's got kind of a bright
Yes.
red fruit.
The best part of the wine festival really is you feel like you've traveled when you've gone to the tasting room. You feel like you've been in all those countries because, as you've let us know before, in order to be at the wine festival, they have to have somebody who actually either makes the wine, a principal of the winery there. So you're talking to the person who sometimes is on the label.
Yeah.
Yes, and so that's really, for me, I think for people that attend, is that sense of authenticity. Like you're connecting. It's like going to a music concert and getting to talk to the band.
Of course, as I mentioned earlier, the heart of the festival is the International Festival Tasting. The Convention Center is kind of the heart, the ground zero. But there are so many events going on, Harry, during that 1 week.
There's the winery dinners and key restaurants. We have those seminars where you can learn about like 8 to 10 wines in a kind of educated setting. And also we have a great lunch this year where we have a partnership with LaSalle College. And we want to influence the next generation of young students, young culinary students, young chefs, young hospitality students. So we're partnering with LaSalle, and they're going to put on a French lunch for us. And it's going to be it's going to be at LaSalle College, which is centrally located for a lot of people living near Burnaby because it's in the east side of Vancouver. And that is going to be a spectacular event, not only because it's got great food, great wine, but you're supporting the next generation of culinary students.
Your website is brilliant. People can go on there and see what events they can go to, timing, prices, everything. What is the website?
It's easy to remember. vanwinefest.ca. I mean, you could Google Vancouver Wine Festival, any combination works, and that's where you're going to end up. But the key thing you want to click on is the festival at a glance. And so, give you a little visual here. On that website, you want to go to this festival at a glance page because that has all the events and the status, whether they're sold out or not.
Perfect.
And that click goes straight to the page where you buy the tickets. Another thing I'm really happy about, any price you see at the wine festival is the price you pay.
Nice.
Inclusive of all taxes, all fees. There's no surprises. How many times do you buy something online and the next thing you know, how did they just add on another $30 worth of expenses?
Completely.
Not at the wine festival.
I love this. Again, March 7th to the 14th, as Harry said, Wine Fest. Anyway, and we will actually, come join us. We will actually be there with Harry on Saturday, March 14th, where we'll film a whole bunch of segments. And we'll be running those all through the spring, but it's always great to be with you pre-segment. Thanks,
And we'll
Harry.
see you in the grand tasting room.
We will.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Harry. Well, our next guest is making his first appearance. We're excited to have this young man here. His name is Oladada. He is originally from Nigeria, moved here. We'll get into that story, where he moved to in Canada, but he is one of the rising stars in the comedy scene here in this country. His latest tour is called Coming to America. Oladada joins us right now. Welcome.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to talk to you. I've really been enjoying your stuff online and on your website. As I alluded to, born and raised the first few years of your life in Nigeria.
Yes.
You end up moving here with family, and you end up, I'm making fun of this or the town, you end up in Fort McMurray.
Yes.
In early November. So let's walk us through that, Ola, as to what your first thoughts were on going from Nigeria, tropical Nigeria, to this.
I finally understood the true definition of cold. You know, that was different. There was a lot of new things about snow I was learning.
Yeah.
Did you know that snow can actually blind you?
Yes.
That
You
was
didn't know
crazy.
that, did you?
No, because you can't even, it's blowing wind in your face. You can't even look down because it's shiny on the floor. That's a terrible thing to find out.
So you stay there till how long? You moved to Vancouver, but how old were you when you came here?
2013 was when I left to Calgary for university.
Okay, yeah.
And then I left University of Calgary to come to Vancouver 2015. So about 10 years now.
Where does he, I mean, Lita and I always like to ask people in your position, actors, musicians, comedians, what is it that grabs you first about this profession and makes you say, did you see somebody that made you think, I want to do that?
You know what? It was never really a part of the plan for me. I went to school for accounting, and while I was in school for business, I just kind of did this on the side. I was working at, I don't know if I can say the bank now, but I was working for a bank.
Okay, sure.
I was working for a bank, so stand-up was not in the vicinity of my plans at all. I just really enjoyed doing it.
But did you? Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but I was assuming that because you've been here like 5 minutes, and you're already cracking us up. I mean, you obviously had a good talent for making people laugh. You've been working in the bank.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a good relationship with a lot of people. I was really good at connecting with people for the most part. I guess I never really considered it stand-up, but prior to this, I was very social. So for a lot of events, people would ask me to host.
Yeah.
But I never thought about asking for money.
What is the? I always got to ask this. What is your first time like on stage? Did you bomb? Did you do okay? I heard Jay Leno once say that you get on stage for the first time doing comedy, it's like sex. You don't do well, but you definitely want to do it again.
Yes. You know what? Mine was kind of the reverse. The first time doing stand-up, it was so great. Where I'm like, oh, this is amazing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna come here and do this every once in a while.
Yeah.
But then the second time, that was a problem because the first time I went with my friends and it was like the spur of the moment situation, and I just made fun of my friends, and it was just beautiful. It wasn't a big room either. It was 15 of us.
Right.
So like it was geared and set up for me to win. Second time, that was like, oh man, my friends are not going to be there with me. What am I supposed to do? Now I'm just on the internet Googling how to be a comedian. It was awful.
But you still said, I got to do this.
I got to figure it out.
Yeah. I heard somebody once say something rather pretentious about comedy. They said that comedy is tragedy plus time.
Yeah.
I watch your stuff and I don't see tragedy, but what I see is, like a lot of great comedians, is that everything is drawn from things that have happened. Often it's very self-deprecating. Is that your driving engine with your comedy?
Well, I don't really like the word self-deprecating because at the end of the day, it's really important to take care of yourself.
Okay, good point.
No, but a lot of comics do that.
Yeah.
You know, but I do like to laugh at my shortcomings for the most part, and you know, not make it become who I am. This is what I used to do, and this is who I am now. That's kind of where I like to be when it comes to my stand-up comedy. There's this allure to like want to draw from sadness and depression, and when it comes to comics too, sometimes, and it can be really dangerous path to kind of stay on. So for me, I try to be like, this is where it's been, and this is where I'm trying to go.
And do you actually? I mean, does your comedy, for lack of a better phrase, evolve? Like I've seen great comedians' early work, and you go, I can see genius there, or the sculpting of talent. But have you found that as you've gotten better and better and done it longer, that it evolves and gets stronger?
Yes, absolutely. At least the topic of things and how I'm tackling certain issues now. A bit more foresight and I guess more in depth with the issue. A little bit more research. So I actually do research.
Well, that's okay.
I know it sounds crazy.
No,
I do more research now before I go out there and talk about things that I do.
You've got so much stuff out there, which is a real credit to you. Your first comedy special, Unlimited Data, your album Data Plan. Talk about, you're actually going to be, and we'll mention the dates in a bit, you're actually here for Just for Laughs.
Yes, I am.
And pretty heavy schedule here in the BC for sure. You're going to also be doing Alberta. You're also going to be filming your full-length stand-up here at Just for Laughs.
Yes, I am.
Wow. So you are going to be, so we'll just give people the dates. We got it on the screen here. The Belfry Theatre, Victoria, February 15th. The Mary Irwin Theatre in Kelowna, February 16th.
Yes.
And then here in Vancouver, the Hollywood Theatre, February 20th. Have you been back to Nigeria? Is that something to go back and explore? And is there any interest in that? Or you're a full Canadian now, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Something you declared in the snow on the video, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to prove how more Canadian I am.
You are actually. You're out there gleefully walking around in the snow. Yeah. No, but is that of an interest? If it's not, that's okay.
No, absolutely. I'd love to go back to Nigeria. I'm actually planning some stuff. Nice. Nothing locked in yet, but I want to look around 2027.
Yeah, nice.
To go there. I haven't been back since I left, which has been a very long time.
Yeah, that's excellent. Okay. Hey, it's been great having you here. Oladata.com. This guy's everywhere. Where can people find you on Instagram?
Showtimedata.com. Oh, Showtime.data.
That's right, yeah. Showtime.data, yeah, D-A-D-A. Okay, great stuff. If you get a chance to see this guy perform in Vancouver or in BC or the rest of the country, make sure you check him out. He has the room laughing. It's all good stuff. Oladata, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Jen.
Well, it's been just a minute since we've done this, and that's movie reviews. And Jim and I love doing that. We watch a lot of movies, and it's wintertime, so people are inside a little bit more. We have some movies to talk about that are I guess we'd say off the beaten track.
Yeah, not the mainstream stuff, but stuff that could fall through the cracks because there are so many things and so many options. Okay.
You go first.
I'm going to start out with a movie that did get a lot of fanfare. This is a documentary called Disneyland Handcrafted, and basically this is a behind-the-scenes look at how Walt Disney, back in the mid-50s, built Disneyland. You've been there, I've been there. It's become the greatest theme park on the planet. But watching him go from shovels in the ground, and 1 year later, he's actually got the park up and running. Now, California is, I think, the 4th largest economy on the planet, which is amazing because it's a state, not a country. But the slam against California is always you can't get anything done because of the bureaucracy. But you go back 70 years and watch Walt Disney, and by the mid-50s, he's already a legend. We love his movies, but everyone around him, including his brother and all his best friends, said, "This is crazy, you're risking too much, it'll never work." Boy, were the critics wrong. I gotta give hats off to Leslie Iwerks, who is an Emmy and Academy Award nominated filmmaker. She found archival footage. Walt Disney also had ABC back in the day, the TV network, film what he was doing, but it's just remarkable to see this park get built and how much he risked and how many people followed his vision. Big thumbs up on this movie. Disneyland Handcrafted, available now on Disney+. Okay, so we're going from...
well, you said you were going to give it a number. Were you going to do that Roger Ebert stuff?
I'd say about an 8 out of 10. But if you find that kind of engineering stuff fascinating, which I do, and YouTube has so many channels that are dedicated to this kind of thing, it's just utterly remarkable. But going from a documentary to something that you saw that I said to you, was it kind of like Hitchcockian? It seemed it.
I guess they keep you guessing the whole time. The movie is called Islands, and it's based in a Canary Island that you probably never heard of. It follows Tom, and he is a washed-up tennis pro. In fact, he's just resigned himself to the fact that he's just going to be coaching tourists coming in. And let's just say he's got a little bit of a drinking problem. He parties, and that's his life. In comes a couple, a British couple, that end up, I'd say, altering his life, altering this guy's predictable life. But the movie keeps you guessing the whole time. It's a German-made production. Even though it's based in a Canary Island, they could use the scenery really to draw you in, but it still maintains sort of a gray look, I have to say, because they could have blue turquoise waters. They didn't want to distract from the actual plot, I think, with all the niceties. It's not a luxury hotel resort by any means. It's maybe a little run down. But, honestly, the movie, I don't think anyone will guess the final at the end.
Okay, I always like movies like that. What would you give that, Miss Leibens?
I would actually give it 7.5, I'm going to say. There's times when it did drag a little bit, but I'm going to mention Sam Riley plays Tom, and Stacey Martin as Anne. And a really great cast of characters that, typically not the Hollywood-looking type of people, and it does draw you in. So I would definitely encourage people to watch it.
That's in theaters now, I think you said, and will be probably VOD home viewing very soon. The last movie I'm going to talk about in this movie segment, about a couple episodes ago we had Rachel Feldman on, who made the movie Lily, and one of the things we talked about in that interview we had with her was that I love films where you get ordinary people that do extraordinary things, that are drawn in. They don't want to be the hero, they're reluctant, but they do great things. The same can be said about this movie out of New Zealand called Pike River. This is a true story account of the 2010 Pike River mine disaster that killed 29 miners. Two of the women, a wife and two wives, they worked their way reluctantly again to the forefront and take on not only the mining company, but the New Zealand government and demand justice for their loved ones. This is a very powerful movie. You might recognize some names. Melanie Linsky, who was in Yellow Jackets, but also played Rose in 2.5 Men, that crazy show, and New Zealand actress, which we must get on the show, named Robin Malcolm, who's been in a bunch of stuff as well. This is a really powerful film, again, of just ordinary people that do extraordinary things for great causes, just like Lily. So Pike River is available now on VOD, and I give that about an 8.5 out of 10.
Wow, you've been way more generous than I.
Well, it's always like the movies to see too. So.
I have to say, I saw a couple, and that's why I'm only doing one. I just don't want to.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. You said I don't want to waste time on the show talking about
it.
It
might be someone else's jam, but and again, yes, it is our opinion. You've been a long-term film critic, Jim.
That's the old thing, though. It's just an opinion. So anyway, those are the movie reviews, and we'll get back to the show.
Well, Jim and I find ourselves at one of our very, very favorite Italian restaurants, Italian Kitchen in downtown Vancouver. But why we're here is for our lovely wine moment. And we would love to introduce Giacomo Marzotto, who is the export director of Herita Marzotto Wine Estates. Welcome to our city tonight.
Hello, hi. Thank you so much for the introduction. Such a pleasure to be here.
Oh, we're so glad to have you.
Welcome from Milano. We met you literally about a year ago when you were in town to talk about some wines, which is what we're going to do today. Giacomo, one of the things that Lena and I love when we talk to people from Italy and other countries in Europe is the great history. You are the fourth generation. Your great-grandfather started this little wine venture, I want to get this date, 1935.
Exactly.
But talk about the history, because there is a whole bunch of other things that the company did back then, including the wine.
By all means. So, 1935 seems a while ago, but actually the story starts a little bit before that.
Okay.
Back in 1836 was when the first business was started.
Right.
Which was not actually wine. We started from textile. That now is still running 8 generations. And let me tell you, 8 generations is not an easy goal to reach.
Yeah.
And the story then goes that my great-grandfather, Gaetano Marzotto, after the First World War, bought back the business from his cousins, and he was one of what they so-called social entrepreneur. He started also one of the first welfare. So he wanted to do business that would satisfy the basic needs of people that were deprived after the First World War, because, and now it's very actual, even though Italy won the First World War, nobody wins any war.
No,
and this is something we need to remember. So he founded first a dairy business to provide milk and yogurt for the kids, alla Zignago. Then he founded the first hotel chain in Italy, Jolly Hotel, to give people shelter. And then he founded in 1935 what he called his passion business. Wow. So the wine business, buying 2,000 hectares in the area around Venice.
And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of work our way down this row of great wines. Let's start with this one right here, this very first one.
By all means. So today we're going to focus on one of our 9 estates, because from that first estate, Santa Margherita, that was founded, now we have 8 estates in Italy and 1 in the US. Here we're talking about Cabernet Sauvignon. This is a very particular take of Cabernet Sauvignon, because actually we know it's a grape that comes from France, but actually in Veneto, it's not that far in terms of latitude to Bordeaux. And the expression that there is in Veneto is actually quite green, quite fresh, so very different than the Cabernet Sauvignon that we normally think about.
How about the second one here?
Yes.
Second one, was one of our latest innovations. Latest, it already has a decade, but it established itself very fast to become one of the benchmark of Italian rosé. Why? Because normally in Italy the rosé they're done in south of Italy, Tuscany, Puglia, Sicily, and they're normally done by red grapes. We decided more to take the approach of Provence, that is using Chardonnay, that is coming from a region that for us is very dear, that is Trentino Alto Adige, and Sauvignon and Pinot Nero, that is coming from another region that for us is very dear, which is Veneto. And so we are blending much more like rosé. And so the acidity, the profile, the freshness is much more similar to Provence. And it's a very, very unique take because still retains the Italian DNA.
Wonderful. Wow. So we're going to pop over here to your white.
Oh my God, this is a rock star. This is a cult wine. This is Santa Margherita Pinot Grigio. So this wine made history in wine because did you know that before 1960, all the Pinot Grigio in the world were rosé wine?
I did not know that. No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fun
Learning
factoid.
lessons here, kids. Excellent.
Yes.
Well, you saw the last of our wines has been poured. We've been sampling. Giacomo, tell us about this last wine.
Absolutely. We are talking about Santa Margherita Prosecco Valdobbiadene Superiore DOCG.
Okay.
So this is actually a vision of my great-grandfather, which in 1952, he decided to start entering the Prosecco, but not any Prosecco. He was a man of quality once again, so he wanted the best. So with the Pinot Grigio, he went to Val d'Adige and Alto Adige. With the Prosecco, he went to Val d'Obbiadene, the only part of the DOCG. And you know, out of the 800 million bottles that they are produced every year of Prosecco, not even 10% are coming from the DOCG. So this is the pinnacle of the pyramid of the quality. And for us, it's a proud.
Yes, we can see that,
yeah.
and it is delicious.
It's very nice, folks.
to
Yeah, we do a little sampling
trust
off
to
camera
that.
there. We should mention we're here at Italian Kitchen now. The Pinot Grigio is available here, yes?
By all means,
Yes.
And the rest of them available all across Vancouver and BC.
of course,
Wonderful.
Excellent, excellent.
for you to try.
Yes, for sure. And we want to mention also Matteo, one of our favorite chefs, is from the same hometown as this gentleman. What are the odds? Okay, we're going to leave that at that. Jim, you want to wrap up?
Yeah, hey, where can people find out more information? Your website is?
Absolutely. We have a website on Santa Margherita, as well as the website of Erita Marzotto Wine Estates.
Great.
Or if not, you can always reach out to me.
Excellent. And he is, of course, the export director of the company he just mentioned, Giacomo Marzotto. It has been a great pleasure, sir. Thank you for joining us in Milan. We love seeing you every year. And thank you for these great wines.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure and an honor to be with
Thank
you
you,
guys.
sir.
Let's just cheers one last time.
Evviva!
This wine moment is brought to you by Erita Marzotto Wine Estates, a global Italian success story for more than 90 years.
Closed captioning and other promotional considerations provided by Hamilton High Street Senior Residence, Richmond's newest senior living community.
Well, that is the end of the show. Jim, that was a lot of fun.
That was. Thanks to the folks at the Parker Rooftop. Come check this great place out. Patio open all year round, by the way. Great food, great fun. Always great to be able to film in this very cool spot.
People, I have to say.
Yeah, well, they're standing just over here. So, of course, they're great people. Anyway, I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Lita Leapins.
We'll see you on the next edition of Our City Tonight.
Visit ourcitytonightTV.com for all the latest episodes, segments, and our new podcast. And please be sure to like and subscribe.
The Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online.